Hello, everybody. Grant Norsworthy here from morethanmusicmentor.com. And I'm so excited to be joined by my friend Carolyn Baker. How are you, Carolyn?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
All right. I'm in New Zealand. You're in Australia. And we don't know where people are who are watching this, but I know this video is going to first come out through Worship Musician magazine, which we're excited about. And you do a
Yeah.
thing called Voice Up Coaching, right? Tell us about that.
So it's got lots of different aspects, but one specifically for churches is I go and I help train the voices and vocalists that sing and that help congregational singing. So I help with harmonization, backing vocals, lead vocals, and everything to do with that.
Wonderful. And I know from our conversations, you are extremely knowledgeable about the human voice. And
Thank you.
I, I mean, I'm a singer. I've sung all my life, but I'm a guy, and I've never really studied singing. I think I had about 3 singing lessons, many, many years ago. But I understand this, there's lots of different language around the voice, and some of it confuses us, but we all
Mm.
make sound from our vocal cords, right?
Yes.
Great. So whether you're a guy, whether you're a girl, that's what we do. And there's many different ways of using our vocal cords. But I've bumped into a bit of a problem when I'm doing my More Than Music mentor training, which is for instrumentalists, technicians, and singers. I've bumped into something that I need your advice on. And it
I'd
comes to
love to help.
speaking to female singers. And look, I'm a guy. I only know the guy voice. So I need your help. Will you be able to help me with this?
Sure. I will do my best.
Thank you. So here's the thing. I understand that, and I might be using the wrong terms, but there's this thing that I think of as being my chest voice. Oh, it's sort of my speaking voice. And I've got this other voice that I sometimes hear called a head voice. Oh, so somewhere up there. And I find it very hard to transition from one to the other. My understanding, and maybe I'm ignorant, is that most female singers, and no two voices are the same, right? But my understanding is that most female singers can disguise that change from that head voice to their chest voice more easily than most men, let's say. But I don't know. I'm a guy, you know.
Mhm.
But I hear things like Chris Martin in Coldplay singing like, I wrote a song for, I can't do it, but he goes up there and it's beautiful. And I can hear the gluck in his, that flip. I think you call it the flip zone, right?
Yeah, I call it the flip zone. Yes.
Right. And I know that using this flip zone is the main thing of yodeling. Oh,
It actually is. It's the core part of yodeling.
great. So here's my question, and I'm going to let you do all the talking in a moment. But I advocate for choosing song keys that help every man, woman, and child in the congregation sing as much as we possibly can. No two
Beautiful.
human voices are identical, but by and large, women and children sing higher than most men. And I try to get a key for the song so that the women and children can sing the melody in this octave and the guys can sing a lower octave. And I advocate for a C to C register for that melody, which
Hmm.
has guys singing lower than they would choose if they were choosing the key choice for just themselves. And it usually has women choosing, or I'm asking them to sing in a key for the song slightly higher than they might naturally choose for themselves.
Mm.
Sometimes I come across women who resist my suggestion and they say, I can't sing that C. I can't sing that C sharp because I sometimes stretch my C to C rule for the melody. And I'm not really sure what to say to them, but I know this much. Even alto singers, which is like a more traditional term for the lower female voice. I understand we're supposed to sing up to a G, and that is definitely using that alto singer's head voice and transitioning from there, what we might call chest voice to head voice. So what I think I'm bumping into is not so much singers who can't sing the C, they are reluctant and fearful to go through that flip zone and use their head voice. Am I right? Or can you, the floor's
Yeah.
yours now. The floor's yours. I've
Okay.
explained. Go for it. Tell us. Help us.
Okay. So what can be happening there? There's a few things that could be happening. First of all, if you think about someone's speaking voice, it goes about an octave. Okay. Um, which is 12 notes. But if someone sings and they sing regularly, they can go up to an octave and a half, two, two and a half, three, three and a half octaves. Now, when
And
you're
then there's
asking,
Mariah Carey, which is a total other thing. But anyway.
she's different space. She's got whistle zone. But when we when we sing for females, especially around the G4 to a possibly a D5 or even an E5, that's generally where a female's flip zone is. So not everyone has a flip zone, but if you're asking them to sing in that area, that's where generally the flip zone is for females. So you're possibly asking them to sing over the hardest part, the most vulnerable part of their voice.
No.
But I want to flip that and say that
good.
that place is actually a space of opportunity, because the flip zone is a space where you can choose whether to use your lower voice or whether you want to use your upper voice. So you can choose which one that is. Can I also suggest that practice at home, if you're going to choose to do that, is important. The other thing that's crazy important in that space is really solid breathing. You want to make sure you breathe really deeply in that space, because you're going to need extra support. My other two suggestions is drink warm to hot water. Just make sure it's not hot so you don't hurt yourself.
Yep.
And secondly, warm to hot water, yep, because that relaxes the larynx. But secondly, when you're going over that flip zone space, that doesn't need to be a loud space. And if you're feeling uncomfortable about it, then it's definitely not a loud space. So with all that said, quiet and clear is amazing, especially when you're strengthening a part of your voice that might be more resistant because of the fear of going somewhere. But if we flip that fear and see it as an opportunity, then that's what we want.
Excellent. I love that, because I've seen some, can I say female singers, when I've suggested
you
this
can
key
say
change,
female singers, if that's what you're saying.
They're forcing through a C note or a C sharp note with still their chest voice, and I can tell it's straining, and it's like, it's not supposed to be this hard. And because there is at your disposal the opportunity of using this flip zone and finding your head voice. And an interesting thing happened just recently where I was speaking to a really wonderful singer, and she said, I can't sing that note. Well, I can at home in the shower, but I can't hear.
Which actually makes sense psychologically, because psychologically that affects the larynx.
And I've heard even my wife Brooke singing really high, and like, you're singing way above the C sharp. What's going on there? Oh, that's my at home voice. And
that's right, because I feel
and here's the
comfortable.
thing: I think a lot of people can sing a lot higher than they think they can when they've got a microphone in front of them and a congregation. But I think part of the problem is, and this is to do with this concept of concert versus campfire that I talk about, and we've spoken about this, Carolyn, where if you realize you are there on a platform with a microphone, but you are not doing a concert, you are simply asking a congregation, a little bit like a campfire sing-along, to sing this song as a prayer to God. You are not performing for them. You don't have to feel super powerful and in control. Just show us how the song goes. And
that's right.
And we'll stack you with two or three other singers, so it feels more like a congregation already singing. Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I interrupted. I just wanted to finish the thought on that before I have to go. But
you got kids to
do. But the thought of that we need to sound like somebody else. I just want to say very clearly here that God has made us all incredibly unique, and our voice is like a thumbprint. There is no one's voice that's going to be exactly like yours. No one's history that's going to be like yours. And so I would never expect somebody else to sing a song exactly like me. And if they do, I'll probably be a little concerned, because I want to hear their heart and I want to hear what their voice can do. And when we talk about singing in the congregation, for the congregation, we don't have to make this big performance of this is what my voice can do. It's a space of gentleness coming together and letting our hearts sing to God together. It's a unified space. And so we don't need to sound like the people that recorded the song. We don't need the music to have the same influence as the people that recorded the song. What we need to do is to unify everybody singing together like a campfire with our hearts to God individually and together.
And some vulnerability there is actually an advantage. Let Jen Johnson do what she does and do it great. Let Carrie Job do what she does and do it great. But when we are leading a congregation, we don't need to sing like that. We just show people how the song goes. And I love this idea of men singing lower than they might choose for themselves and women singing a little higher than they might choose to do for themselves. But if we both compromise like that or lean towards each other as an expression of love, we'll find a key where our whole church congregation, even Joe the plumber, might sing with us if we do that, you know? And that's the beautiful thing. Thank you so much for your time, Carolyn. I'm sorry to have torn you away from all your other responsibilities, but I think people are going to
Oh,
find
no,
this
I've
really
loved
helpful.
this. So happy to help.
Thanks a lot. Bye for now.
Bye.